People of the verse, hello and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in today's video we are going to talk about the state of Star Citizen in mid-2020. We are a couple of weeks until Star Citizen about 3.11 is released, and I really want to take some time about how the game currently feels, what is the situation compared to how it was a couple of years ago, and how also is the situation, how is the way people feel the game is right now, what are people's expectations. So this is something that we're going to talk about, and because usually got the feeling is that people do have expectations, but sometimes reality is a little bit different. But at the same time, the way people perceive things is also reflective of a certain reality too. I know it's a little bit confusing, but as I'm going to explain myself in this video, I hope that you will get a little bit hint of what I want to talk about. Also guys, don't forget that this month I am giving away two things. We are giving away first a Talon Shrike with lifetime insurance. This is thanks to Buzz69, so shout out to Buzz69 for helping this channel out. Also with this channel, if you would comment to any Star Citizen videos related this month, and if you subscribe to the channel, you also get a chance at winning this beautiful package that includes a Cutlass Black and a rock, all of that with LTI as well. Good luck to everybody. The winners will be announced early October. Alright, the first point that I want to address now is this one. Is Star Citizen unplayable? And I'm going to talk about what I'm seeing here from my own perspective, but also what I can understand from other people's perspectives as well, from what I have seen on various streams and also from your comments too. As far as I'm concerned, I would say that Star Citizen is playable, but you must also, I would say, set your expectations to a reasonable level. I know that it sounds crazy because the game has been under development since 2012, and we've had those alphas since 2014, and it's 2020 now, so it's really been a long time. But you also have to understand that as of 2020 we are still bottlenecked because of technologies that are still waiting to come. I'm thinking of, for example, iCache and especially server meshing. Those two technologies right now are holding the performance back, especially server performance, and as a result, that is the reason why servers tend to crash the game. The game engine, which is originally the CryEngine, was not designed to have such huge amount of data, such large play space with such amount of players playing together, handling all of that data. That is just not how the game engine was designed, and the team at CIG is really trying their best to optimize that engine as much as possible to have at least that star system within that server right now, until finally we can have one server per area per system, which is going to make performance much better. So that is the reason why those servers tend to die very quickly. They just can't handle the game right now, which makes the game unplayable for a lot of people who do require to play for a certain amount of time. I'm thinking, for example, of people who do those long delivery missions that take sometimes half an hour, people who do also large trade runs from planet to planet and eventually get disconnected and lose everything that they have, or people who also go on long mining runs. They try to fill their cargo with some of the best commodities and they lose also everything. For those players, the game is right now unplayable, which is why I heavily suggest that right now in Star Citizen after 3.10 you stick maybe to combat mission. FPS combat mission is not fun also because servers tend to make NPCs stall and they're not really responsive, but at least space combat still is a little bit of fun, and this can also provide a little bit of gameplay that you can do. So it depends on what you really want to do. If you want to do trading, mining, Star Citizen can be indeed unplayable. If you want to have short sessions, you want to have a little bit of adrenaline around the verse, do some PvP around certain areas or some PvE, then you can have a pleasant experience. But again, do expect the game to disconnect. That is just the reality right now as of Star Citizen Alpha 3.10. So what is the point of playing Star Citizen now then, if it is hardly playable? Well, you have to remember, and I know that I hate it when people say that to me, and you guys probably hate that too, but let's still remember that unfortunately as of mid-2020, the game is still in its alpha stage, and as a result, when we play Star Citizen, we are sending CIG some invaluable data that is helping them understand where problems are, that is helping them identify specific issues, and it is helping them to fix those issues, not immediately, but on the long term. It also tells them what players like to do, what are their favorite areas, what type of gameplay they like to do the most, and that is how they can design the game to suit our needs and expectations as well as possible. Again, guys, that is all on the long term. Also, my second point here, as when it comes to playing Star Citizen now, is something that I often say to people. This is an opinion that is not necessarily popular, but this is something that I have believed for quite some time, and it has, at least on my side, helped me quite a lot. Playing Star Citizen now helps you getting as familiar to the game as possible, and that means that when the game will finally be released, when we will have full persistence, all the experience that you are accumulating now will pay off. This is where you will have a huge advantage over someone who doesn't know the game so much, over someone who doesn't know the mechanisms, the locations. When you play now, you are accumulating that experience, which is going to give you a significant edge when the game will eventually be released, and when eventually more people will get into the game to finally enjoy the final released product. That is another reason, in my opinion, the second reason why it is, I would say, it makes sense right now to play Star Citizen despite all of its flaws and all of its drawbacks. Next, I want to talk about whether or not it is going to get better soon TM, right? And this is, of course, a question that is on the mind of a lot of backers, but also on a lot of observers who have a look at this this video game UFO from afar, kind of like intrigued, but still haven't got into Star Citizen yet. Quite frankly, guys, I have been supporting this game. I have been a backer since November 2012, and as of right now, 8 years later, I can't tell you if this is going to get better soon. I try not to be negative, but we haven't heard from Chris Roberts, the founder of CIG, the creator of this game, since last year's CitizenCon. Literally last year's CitizenCon. Yeah, we have seen him in some pilot talks earlier this year, but these were pilot talks recording during last year's CitizenCon, meaning that we haven't heard from him since last year. People say that he's busy coding, he's making sure that we can get server meshing, at least a first iteration of server meshing by the end of this year. I don't know, we haven't heard from him, so I am not taking any other people's words other than his words regarding his own status, and to me that is a little bit worrisome. Also, we are going to have a couple of patches. In less than a month, in theory, if it is not delayed, we are going to have Star Citizen Alpha 3.11. By the end of this year, we are going to have Star Citizen Alpha 3.12. And when we look at the roadmap right now, it does seem like these quarterly patches are a little bit straight down, if you see what I mean. They don't really have a lot of features when it comes to core tech, which I also find a little bit worrisome, because we are being bottlenecked right now because of core tech. The reason why we don't have new game mechanics is because we don't have iCache, we don't have server meshing that we need to get the game to make some major progress, and we simply have no idea as of when these will come. So it has always been CIG's PR policy to make people excited and say, oh yeah, well, we are going to see that by the end of this year, and then eventually we have delays. So take everything you are hearing from CIG with a pinch of salt. As of right now, unfortunately, I am afraid that we are going to keep on seeing those huge server issues, those game-breaking bugs, until we do have those new server technologies. And unfortunately, as of 3.11 and 3.12, the next two patches, we don't have those key technologies on the roadmap. my suggestion is to wait until we see some of the reports of the progression of the work for those technologies that we are going to hear about during CitizenCon. Usually it is around that time that CIG communicates about their progress. So we have about a month to go until we finally have a better idea about what's going on. But if you haven't joined Star Citizen right now, I am really sorry, and I hope that this is not going to disappoint some long-term fans of this channel, but I would not recommend you to hop into Star Citizen right now until we get to see CitizenCon and we have a better idea of what's going on. You may have seen also that I have played less Star Citizen myself. For those of you who have me on Discord, you can see that I'm playing a lot of X4, for example, or Flight Simulator. You have seen me less streaming on Twitch as well, simply because I'll be honest with you guys, I am not enjoying the game right now as much as I did in previous patches, because I have a lot of bad experiences, and the more bad experiences I am having in Star Citizen, the less enthusiastic I am, and I don't want to jump towards the other side of the fence and become one of those haters. So what I do when I feel that frustration, when I feel that anger, I was like, it's not working, I know it's an alpha, I just take a little bit of time off and I come back to Star Citizen when I just miss it, because there are great things about Star Citizen right now, and that's what I will talk about in the last part of this video. So what keeps me coming back then? Well, it turns out that Star Citizen does have some feature. Star Citizen brings to the table a couple of things that no other games have, and this is why, despite of all of its current limitations right now, despite all of its bugs, this is still a game that I enjoy playing, especially against Elite Dangerous, which is going to have, of course, its Odyssey patch next year. When I come, for example, when I play X4, I always come back to Star Citizen because of what you are seeing here: the ability from transition from ground to space, the amazing planets and moons that you can walk on, the idea to have this limitless experience. You leave your ship, you can go inside your ship, you can take a box, bring it back into your ship, you can do combat if you want, you can just do whatever you want in Star Citizen, or at least that is going to be the objective. And it's the idea of contributing to that, well, making that game better, with my own tiny contributions while experiencing it at the same time. This is something that I love very much. So that is why, despite the game being barely playable, despite the game probably not going to get better soon, I still come back because I just love this project. For me, I don't see that as a game right now. To me, this is a passion project that I am contributing on, with my humble means on my side, and we are maybe, a couple of 100,000, maybe 1 million people, 2 million people doing the same thing, and eventually one day all the pieces will come together. That is why I always come back to Star Citizen, and this is why, if you want to make this game become a reality, if you don't see it as a final product but as a piece of art, as a piece of video game art that we are all contributing to helping making, then Star Citizen is for you, in my opinion. But that is just what I think. Of course, please tell me what you guys think about the state of Star Citizen right now in 2020. Do you share my opinion? Are you absolutely outraged with how the game is being made, or the communication of CIG? I would like to know everything in the comments down below. That's all for today's video, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.